Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Mortanius, and we are back with some more Vampyr on the PS5. Time of recording is 12:05 a.m. Wednesday, April 9th, 2025. When we last left off, we had finally managed to make our way around to some of the deeper recesses, to the deeper recesses of Whitechapel in order to find one Nurse Dorothy Crane. Apparently, she may go by some other name. We'll have to figure that one there out. But at this particular moment, we have a Darius Petrescu to speak to, who apparently seems to know her in some way, shape, and form. So we'll have to see where this thread goes. If y'all like what you see and want to see more of me, just give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of the other playlists, share around some of the other playlists, bang the bell. Follow the links from my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links from my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, and get comfortable. Let's get into this. Now, to be clear, is there anything else I need to do immediately? Well, hold on, actually, I've got to... Got something I need to do. Let me see. Where are you? Do 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 do. I think that's supposed to be the spot, but maybe not. It might be glitching though. Yeah, it has to be glitching. I believe we watched it, but it should still show up. Maybe I can spark him, get him back here.
There's nobody here.
That's irritating. What is going on here? Because that white icon is his door. But I can't get him.
It's locked.
Dorothy Crane is up there. I don't know what to do. It is legitimately glitched.
Joe, please, I don't have your money. Come on, Barry,
Want to see if I can leave Whitechapel and then come back? Trying to be sure I've taken a path that I already had before. Not trying to spark something else until it can actually be dealt with. So that's the door where, what was his name? Garvey? Was it Garvey? Was meeting with well, I think her name was Carmela. It's been a bit of a bit, folks. You have to forgive me. She was the Lady of the Night. Yes, Carmela. Nope. That's the florist. The mute florist. Where are you? There you are. Christina. Excuse me. Christina. I hear things and smell stuff. It is problematic. I must maintain control. No one will have questions about what happened to him though, right? I mean, what's a couple of pints anyway, right? He might already be gone anyway. Well, we know he is.
Take a look.
Good quality. Some toys. Yeah. I don't know what to do here. What I'm gonna try.
No one's there.
Is to reload.
There's no one in. It's locked, all right.
Oh wait. There we go. That somehow triggered it for some reason. So I did have to leave Whitechapel. What? Oh, there we go. Good God. I was about to Google it.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby.
Darby.
Is he still asking questions?
Not Garvey.
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
That's funny. I mixed him up.
I must talk to that journalist.
I mixed him up entirely. I guess my brain was saying something along the lines of, there's a settlement in need of help. I'm assuming that was Darby's information. No, maybe not. Unless that was Darius Petrescu's information. The man has bronchitis. The right arm of Dorothy Crane.
Howard, they must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Maybe it was at Richard Nithercott. Matter of fact, I don't think I found him yet. So that was to a recovering. I don't have what I need for you. That'll be a bit. I know exactly where to get it if I can remember to pick it up. Bronchitis. Cold. I believe I have the knowledge for this, but not the resources. Yep, I have the knowledge. Yeah, I mean, I've got a few. Hold on. Bronchitis, cold, pneumonia. Okay, Petrescu and Cadigan Bates. Bates I won't be able to take care of until he finally comes back to Whitechapel. But that'll be the next night since we rescued him when we saw him last. Let's see if I can get to your front door before you do, old man. Nope, not what I meant to do, actually. Thinking about it.
I must insist, sir. Please let me see Nurse Crane.
I have no time for you, sir.
It's alright. Well, you should have let me cure your bronchitis. And as a stray beam peered through from the dark, or rather into the dark, it gave a ray of hope. Maybe we could one day solve our problem. Who knows? Gentlemen, fellers, dude, guy, bros. Get back into the swing of things. Come on with it. There we go. Oh, hey. Took my eye off my stamina and I think I ran out. Still useful, if not a little irksome. Yeah, it does. Kamari, 1990. Welcome to the game, welcome to the chat. Thanks for stopping through. Alright. There we go. That's the button I was trying to hit earlier. Oh, nope, nope. Hold still. Alright. You might as well. It feels more normal. Do you think anyone will see me? I was always good at hiding. Hiya. I don't need you getting grabby. Yeah, that was useful. Good feel for it again. Too bad I couldn't help you. Hmm? Mm-hmm. Well, somebody had themselves a nice meal. But one gets a strong sense you might be a bit of a glutton. Hey there, buddy. Okay. Grr. Arg. Look at you over here calling the police. Oh, well, I mean, tried to give you a second. Okay. Oh, they let him do all that. Yeah, you gonna get me off him? You gonna get me off him? Need you to hold still for a second. Ooh, that is not insignificant. I already did. It was unpleasant. Lingering poison. Nope. We're not getting another dose of that. See, you say die. I say kill. I know you can't help yourself. So I'll help you out. Okay, now let's see if we can find these folks. What difficulty am I playing on? I believe I started on hard. Yes, I did, now that I think about it. I don't know if it'll show here. Yeah, I believe I started on hard. The first time around I was playing this, have played it for a while, and I think, what was it? The difficulty didn't even exist at the time. It's been so long since then. But I'm also making it a point to do a run where I'm not consuming people naturally. You say you've only beaten it on the easiest difficulty, huh? I mean, it takes time to get used to a game like this. It takes time to get used to, well, any game, pretty well anything really. But it takes time to get used to a game like this. It's definitely worth it if you want to put in the time for a game like this. But it is time consuming in terms of the amount of conversations you have. Not to mention the actual combat is simple, but it is complicated in its own way. I'll deal with whoever you are in a minute. Oh, Jesus. All right.
Good evening, Doctor. Can I help you?
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
That's not what I meant to
Not much,
ask.
I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
Say you didn't consume either, huh? Just didn't feel right bringing the different areas down. You can't even role play as the bad guy. Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to role play as a bad guy. I have to make myself sometimes just to actually play through certain games. I know full well what you mean.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Have to find him.
He never goes out.
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell.
I mean, it had its uses. At least told me about Nethercott's letter. And his, interesting actions. But yeah, like if a game like this is too like hard for you to get into, the original Lords of the Fallen is real good as a as an initial one to get into for Souls types as a whole. Pretty entertaining too. Need to stream the new one at some point or another. Still need to finish Dark Souls 3 though. Darius Petrescu's letter. My dearest, most beloved children, I'm so sorry you have not heard from me for a few months. The situation in London has been difficult. I know it may sound selfish and silly when you, my children, are still living in a country consumed by war, but there's also a war going on here in England. A war against poverty and against injustice. This is a war I intend to fight despite my advanced years. This is why I'm writing to you today. I won't be coming back to Romania. It probably means I won't see you again before I die. Don't be sad, my darlings. You are grown up now, and you have children of your own. You know the sacrifices we must sometimes accept to make the world a better place. Oh yeah, no problem. There's quite a few pretty interesting like older games that are starting to get more resurgence, either remasters, remakes, or just people actually playing them again. And again, that is actually a pretty entertaining one. A little simpler in some mechanics, a little more complicated in others. Like for instance, that was the first Souls type I'd ever come across that makes it to where whenever you use its in-game save system, you have a choice to save regularly, refilling your heals and respawning everything, or you can just save at the system. You don't refill your heals, but nothing respawns. It's a little trade-off depending on what you decide to do. And they've kept that for a few other games as well. That, The Surge, quite a few that are actually pretty updated along those lines. Let me see. You know the sacrifices we must sometime accept to make the world a better place. This is one I must make now to feel useful one more time. I wish you a long and happy life. Kiss my grandchildren for me and remember that your father loves you all the way from this cold, damp country. I am as ever your loving father, Darius Petrescu.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Sir, I just merely have a desire to help you with both hands and these chompers here. Ignore that second part. It's extremely important that you allow me entrance. I can feel your pain. Darius does not want to see his children anymore to avoid being a burden to them. Neo on PlayStation. That's another game I gotta play too. Played the demo when it first came out. It was pretty good. It looked pretty fun. If memory serves, it came out, what was it, slightly after Bloodborne, and it was the first of those games that was like extremely fast. Kind of blew everybody's mind. It was like, wait a minute, the games like this can be fast and still work? Oh, that's what I'm seeing. Mortimer Goswick's mission. I think. Jesus, why is that even tracked? Yeah, that was one particular weapon I remember using during the Neo trial. I think it was the Kasurigama. Felt pretty good. Knowing me, I'll probably want a katana or something. You know, I don't know if they have them though. I believe there's 2 ways to get in here, but maybe not. Kill you in a minute. The spear. I can see that. Spears and Souls types do have a certain kind of feel to them. They really do. Dark Souls 2 was kind of... it felt a certain kind of way with me for it. That was pointless. Oh, you're getting uppity out here. Did not want to use that. you like the distance with the spear. I can understand it. The distance factor in a game like Dark Souls or Dark Souls 2, 3 as well, but I don't think I've tested a spear in 3 yet. We'll have to see. It's kind of hard to remember. But that distance factor is real useful. Sometimes I just kind of like to get up in your face. You can only really do that with a sword or a mace. Since I'm not really a mace kind of guy. Sword it is. I don't know, I just never got into the appeal of hammers. I see why people do it, but it's just not my thing. I don't really like being slowed down like that. There you are.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Up close and fast is nice too, but when I first started playing, it sucked, so I had to play it cautious. Don't like the hammers either. The damage was slow. Yeah, they have real use. It's just it's like how people say, just put on a bunch of armor and fat roll through Dark Souls. Like I can't do it. I can deck myself out with armor, but I cannot get into the fat roll concept. I can play the role of a tank. It's kind of easy to play a tank. It's just I like to get in there, jack of all trades. Let me take a little, give a little, redirect a little, control a little.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
I mean, if we take away the morality and the loss of life aspect of what he's talking about, he's not wrong. We do have quiet, but we have quiet because there aren't many people around left to do much noise making. But again, I get what he's trying to say. Still, it's kind of a mixed thing. In order to get this quiet, a lot of people had to die. And he seems to not really have a great deal of issue with it. Same time, it's not entirely his responsibility, but he seems to not really care just from that statement alone.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
I'll grant that. You seem to be feeling a certain kind of way right now.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. You should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
You say that, my friend, but if your physical health fails, then who can read your mind? How do we glean what is up there? How do we understand what this artiste can truly give?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? stirring and challenging.
Yeah, I understand that one, especially considering that group of 3 we just had to fight.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir, Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
I respect that, but don't be so open with this individual you don't know that you leave your throat exposed. She might be sweet and she might be completely cool. Don't mean she won't stab you and leave you in an alley somewhere. Camellia is like a muse to Richard Nethercott, who sees her as a locked mystery. She may well be. I take no issue with it. If you feel a certain way and it pans out, it pans out. I take no issue with it. Just don't attribute a great deal to an individual you can't even speak to and haven't spoken to. Sure, she may be mute, but she can at least communicate in some way. And if you haven't communicated at all, don't attribute anything to this individual that you haven't seen her personally do. Richard sees Camellia as his muse and a locked mystery. Oh, she's a locked mystery, I'll grant that. But if you know nothing about her, don't attribute... I'll put it this way. You see her as this grand thing. But if you talk to her and then you find out she ain't really that grand thing, you sort of killed that fantasy. You killed that illusion you had of her. Don't do that to yourself. You want to get to know this woman, get to know this woman. It ain't gonna help you just sitting there thinking like that. It doesn't help them when they sit there thinking like that.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But, will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
I can understand that. Would she still be the inspiration he sees her as right now? Or would that inspiration break? So he is at least considering the possibility that approaching her could not only kill his muse concept, his inspiration, but it might even potentially kill the way he feels about her. But it's better than you make a move and some time passes and something happens, or she ends up in a relationship and you kind of can't. So that's up to you, though.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives, how she survives, whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
It can be, but at the end of the day, you need gas in your car, food in your belly, and oxygen. As boring as reality is, it's real. And to be honest, I take reality over the illusion any day. I'll take a person over a robot. I'll take an argument over an illusion.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight,
Good God.
the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
I can kind of respect that depending on why you want to write about it. Hold on.
Do you not think...
On the contrary, sir, Whitechapel is...
What can you tell me?
Not much.
And have you...
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality...
Yeah. I'd rather know how she feels, straight up. If nothing else, then we could potentially see where that goes, but... Now, I mean, ease has nothing to do with it, but... The human race building itself across a planet over 200,000 to 300,000 plus years wasn't easy either, so.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
Just throw her right under that bus and just back up and go right back over and just back up and go right back over, huh?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Alright now. Be careful with that. Quite literally, you're a helpless romantic, bro. Helpless romantics are dangerously close to simping. I'll put it that way.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Little.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
Now, there's nothing wrong with being a hopeless romantic. Just keep your eyes open. Be as attentive as you can be. You know, nothing's perfect. You'll never see through everything. Just do the best you can.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
Oh, see, now people like that, those are the people you have to concern yourself with, but at the same time, those are the people you want in your corner. That is that person you call up at 2 in the morning to come help you hide a body. They don't ask questions, they don't argue, they show up with a shovel.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
I can respect that. I'm more of a night owl myself. I don't know, it's just nighttime's existence sort of comes more alive, just always the way it's been.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
I mean, I'll grant that, but Jesus Christ. Oh, he's one of them floaty types. Come with me. We'll see. Doesn't matter. We'll see. Doesn't matter. Oh, Camellia? Yeah, we'll see. Doesn't matter. He is quite literally the creative type. In kind of the worst sense. Nothing wrong with being a creative type, but he's kind of the creative type in the worst sense. Makes you wonder what he publishes or what he creates, though. It's probably impressive.
If you say so.
Well, you hope.
But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposures.
Exactly.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
As much as the seeker of truth must go boldly, it doesn't mean the seeker of truth needs to be stupid.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
Alone? What do you have guards or something? Why not come down here with somebody? Well, these people are crazy. Look, I get it. Y'all don't know anything about scowls and vampires and... I get it. But Jesus Christ. It's only people who literally see an actual factual sickness in front of their own eyes that they themselves can pick up and spread to other people and literally be dead the same week. People like him are extremely dangerous. He's the type that'll bring a pandemic back to a civilization just because he ain't really concerned about it. Look, I shower every day. Yeah, I touch a bunch of things, but I shower. I mean, all of my cuts were, closed at the time. You know, I don't think I got any. I don't think I got anything in my mouth. You know, I think I'm fine. You know, or they hit us with the. My girlfriend got tested last week. If she ain't got it, I ain't got it.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear doctor.
I can't be everywhere at once, Darby. Or Nethercott. Mixing y'all up.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
That's why you act like this. What do you have to lose? Yeah.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. An artiste, constantly. Whether he wants to be or not. There's nothing wrong with that, but there you go.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Darius is a former Romanian political activist. Interesting.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work.
Not interested.
Darius.
Okay. I mean, I figured there might be something else along that track.
I'll leave you alone, sir. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Indeed. Little pig, let me come in. Editor refusal letter. Sycophant Publishing Ltd. Sycophant Publishing. Jesus. Lavender Court, Camden Street, London. Mr. Nethercott, thank you for sending your book of poems, Songs from the Defeated City, which we found as interesting and profound as we told you the first time we received it. Alas, in the terrible times our country is currently facing, you must understand that such a title would be totally inappropriate for any publication. Thus, since you still refuse to change your title and demand the full publication or none of your work, I'm sorry to announce that your Sycophant Publishing sorry about that. I'm sorry to announce to you that Sycophant Publishing chose the second option. With kindest regards, A.G. Morris. Why you running, Morris? You don't want to tell people the truth, Morris? You afraid there, Morris? Richard has never succeeded in poetry. Yep, and there it is. He's got great potential, but he's not willing to adapt. He's not willing to adjust, maybe. This one particular thing he didn't want to budge on, and I can understand why, considering what we're looking at in terms of the city, but he may have no real choice. But he might not be somebody that's willing to adapt at all. He may more want the world to more or less adapt to him.
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
I can respect that, but you kind of have to pick your times, man. In truth, a rich artist is rare. And in the end, your works may be more valuable later on down the line. They may be more valuable posthumously. He could do something more useful, but the only thing that's more useful right now would be helping doctors, and that would get him killed. He has such a low sense of danger, that would get him killed.
When she was younger, my mother was a painter and a poet. She told me many times how poor her artist friends were, and how she helped.
My parents pay for my rent, my food, and my clothes. All I have to give them in return is lies they do not believe.
You seem embarrassed.
Someday I hope to proudly offer my first publication to my parents. Until that day, I'll remain the failure of a son they have to support.
Yeah, I can understand what he's saying. See, in the end, he doesn't want to fail. He wants to do right by himself and by his family. He has problems. Put quite simply, being a writer might not be what it is he needs to be doing at all. He may be more of a wordsmith. He may be a writer for people, again, later on, posthumously. But as himself right now, in this world that's dealing with an epidemic, he may not be able to do that. It's possible he may be just fine of a writer, but again, like that publishing group said, it's the wrong time for a title like that. And as a matter of fact, the title seemed to be their only issue if what they said was true. Richard feels guilty about depending on his parents' financial support. Of course he does. Setting aside the fact that he's a man, his desire is, like I said, to do right by people. Not to actually be a problem or a burden. I understand. Entirely. It's not weird, unusual, or confusing. Oh, okay. So yeah, I could have gotten here from there. Right, but had to unlock it. So I couldn't have gotten here from there. Oh, Darius. No, I'm good. Not really my thing. Never really saw the appeal. I get it, but never really saw the appeal.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
I need to talk to you.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your words have conviction. All right, I'll let you see Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
All right. Finally inside. Wonder what happens if he revokes my access. Since I need somebody to let me in to be able to, well, come in. The antique figure of the Vricolica. Vricolicas. That is a word. On my many journeys, I believe, I was the most amazed by my exploration of the Mediterranean Isles. And particularly the island of Santorini. Santorini. Why does that sound familiar to me? One second, folks. Okay. One more thing, folks. Just checking something. Hmm. Okay. Heard was reading at Santorini, and for some reason my brain had flagged down on there's a religion called Santeria. It's an Afro-Cuban religion with Yoruba roots. Incorporates elements of Catholicism, including the worship of orishas or deities, and practices like divination and animal sacrifice. Why my brain went there, don't know. But the word is extremely close, so I guess that was the main reason. I believe I was the most amazed by my exploration of the Mediterranean Isles, and particularly the island of Santorini, searching for traces of vampire presence in these sunburnt lands. Herodotus himself refers to the island in his fourth book, and I'm personally convinced that there are many mysteries to be unveiled in this part of the world. Who knows that even today, the island of Santorini is still considered by some as the most vampire-infested place in the world, way more than the Carpathians, and that its inhabitants are considered as specialists of the vampire hunt, or the hunt for Vrokolikas. Vrikolikas. As they call this creature. According to the locals, a Vrikolikas is a dead person who does not decay and who can show a vermilion complexion as long as he is gorged with fresh blood. He cannot enter a house without knocking and getting a response. Garlic makes him flee, and he does not consume under the sun, but his skin blackens. He can change into wolf and other animals. What struck me the most is the same name exists, with small variations from Mediterranean Sea to the Balkans. The Greeks call him the Vrikolikas. The Bulgarians and the Macedonians name him Varkolak or Varkolak. The Serbians call him Vukotlak. Yes, Vudkotlak. A name so similar to the Volkod we already know, my dear brothers. Just to write the few words now gives me the shivers. I'm personally convinced that we are here confronted to some form of proto-vampire. Maybe they are a missing link between the modern vampires and the creatures that came before them. If God allows me enough time, I wish one day to go back to the Santorini Island and find this trail of the antique and forgotten figure. From Drinking at the Fountain of Knowledge by Usher Talltree, Primate of St. Paul. So you've been reading up on the Brotherhood of St. Paul Stall, have you? Just take that.
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also run this little print shop.
Well, snitches do get stitches, don't they?
Do you need some help, Mr. Petrescu?
I am very tired, but that is all. I don't need you, Doctor.
Well, I think you do. Take this, and you'll feel better.
Free drugs from an English doctor. It must be my lucky day.
Or an unlucky one. Because why free drugs from an English doctor? The fact that you brought that up means there's some sort of something connected to it as far as you're concerned. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel. She volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
That's cool. More and more people who actually have good things to say about this woman. It does speak well to who she is, who her character is, and what she's shown.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family.
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Yeah, we've seen your feelings heard your feelings on that one.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too. If only I had met her when I was younger.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Progescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
I'm not surprised that's his feeling, legitimately. She seems the type to be able to pop up and disappear real quick and quiet, like her being mute only magnifies that effect that she probably has.
Did you refuse to publish Richard Nethercott's previous works, Darius?
Yes, his manuscript is as pompous as he is starched. Now there's a man who loves the sound of his own voice.
You could have told him so.
As a great writer recently said, politeness is the most acceptable hypocrisy.
Is it more polite to let somebody walk around in ignorance, solidifying their problems, and then potentially being considered an idiot or a failure? Best thing you can do is tell somebody that it's not exactly what it should be. Now, you use tact, you move a certain way, but tell the truth about it. I would be happier to know. At least this way I can do something about it, instead of putting years behind embedding flaws that take years to get rid of. And I might not have the time to do that again. I'd prefer to know. I'm one of those types, I don't care how bad the situation is. The more I know, the better off I am. Legitimately.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the art.
Oh, okay. It's still highlighted.
Tell me... So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area, Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear of Whitechapel's misery. Dorothea is one of the few doing something about it.
If memory serves, isn't Whitechapel supposed to be more upscale, or was that the West End that's supposed to be more upscale at this point? I could be wrong.
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
That's a shame. Again, we saw his desire was not to be a burden on his family, and that was what his issue was. Can't remember which was supposed to be more upscale. Yeah, I can't either. Because I'm like, it's not surprising that an affluent area don't really have a lot of people paying attention to it. You have the money to, I mean, hell, you could probably bring in doctors.
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only has memories of better times to cherish.
he said that no with such certainty, and it's one of those you can tell he wants to go home, but it's a sore subject, and he just don't want to be a burden on his family. And he probably still wants to help here, especially with him being able to help Dorothy, but he doesn't want to be a burden. And he hates the fact that him being near his family would make him a burden, but with his advanced age in this time frame, there's no real way to avoid it.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but thank you, Dr. Reed. I appreciate your trust.
Yeah, no problem. Sometimes you never really know why somebody leaves. They might not necessarily leave because they have no desire to be there. They may even have wanted to return but couldn't. You never know until you actually find out the details.
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really? Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, we were on them front lines in World War I, the Great War as it was called.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
It is not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
I can respect that. There may be aspects about the country that are good, but are they good because they're good, or are they good because whoever occupies your country are giving you little concessions to get you back in line? It's hard to say. I can't say, excuse me, I can't say about Romania's history at this point.
Tell me...
Nope. Alright.
Good.
You know everything we need to about you. Go ahead and take your coins. Thank you. Wait. Yep. Okay. Might as well. That pulsing is happening at real bad places right now. Oh. Say, what's all that movement under your clothes, sir? What are you doing? I think somebody's thirsty. Gonna need a minute, doctor. Or nurse, rather. What the? Oh. Letter to Nurse Crane. London, 31st of October. My dear Dorothea, when you read this letter, I will be on the boat that will take Anton and me back to Brussels. England was not for us, and I confess I cannot wait to see again the proud hills of Transylvania. As soon as we are there, I promise I'll light a candle in the black church and pray for you to survive this terrible epidemic. I know that you do not agree with this decision, and that you are determined to be more useful by helping our comrades exiled in the East End. But Anton cannot wait to return to our beloved country and see our long-awaited revolution bloom. He is my husband. I will stay by his side. I know we had our arguments and our fights. I know you would have wanted me to stand by your side and help you manage this clinic of yours. But now that I'm leaving England, be assured that if anything would happen to you, if you ever were in great trouble or danger, I would come back immediately to London, with or without Anton. Please think of me as much as I think of you. I am your affectionate sister, Theodora. Right there. Lets us know what'll happen if Crane happens to have some problems. That means her sister will have problems too. Oh, that ambiance is screaming at us children.
I need help.
I know you do.
He's going into convulsions, Doctor.
He sure is.
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
I doubt she has anesthetics, but I'll ask.
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse. Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor. None at all.
There it is then.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Considering we don't have antiseptics, an aseptic environment would be another luxury. But
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see.
kind of tripping balls right now. You need to stop staring at my face. It'll leave you with nightmares.
I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor.
Open chest.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I'll give it to him. I like how they made it a point to use the music of the game to be his heart monitor. I'd actually forgot that we lost him.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners.
Oh yeah, you and I need to have a real serious conversation, nurse.
So what do I owe this courtesy?
Oh, things and stuff, dear
I
nurse.
suspect
Things
it
and
was more
stuff.
than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Well, first,
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
why don't you try and get resources for these people instead of doing all of that and blackmailing and all of that? Like, what's wrong with you? Gives away drugs and medicine for free. Has a sister in Romania, and has a clandestine. It was a clandestine resistant in her homeland. Yep.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
We don't know anything about this individual other than the fact that she seems attractive and seems to be sweet. Again, you're attributing a lot to a person you know nothing about just because your eyes tell you one thing, and that one thing is that she's attractive.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man.
Now, to be fair, when you look a certain way, the human instinct is to trust you because you give a sense of innocence, trustability, and a desire to want to keep you safe. It's just a natural reflex. But again, you've got to kind of be careful with just letting the natural reflex dictate what you do.
He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
Did you at least tell them? Tell the doctor that you needed help? Or did you just assume his position and then decide to go around him? Because that's all it sounds like to me. Love the Ashbury character. Wish they came out with a sequel with her as the main character. Yeah, I can see it. I get behind it. I wouldn't take any issue. So long as they don't Mary Sue her character and they actually do it right. Because she actually was a pretty cool character.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
So you rather deal with the shame than actually solve the problem, huh, Dorothy? I say I'm surprised, but I'd be lying. Your argument is quite literally not even forgiveness for permission. Usually people like to play the better to ask forgiveness than permission game, but you don't even care either way. As far as you're concerned, this should have just been happening anyway. And you should have somehow been able to read Swansea's mind, or Swansea should have been able to read your mind and let you just take resources that you needed, wherever you needed to whoever you needed to, because you felt a certain way. No details. It just needs to happen because you want it, huh? Well, we'll see how well that goes. Oh, wait. It's not. Because now the Pembroke has problems and they're missing resources.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
If I turn you over to the authorities, half the possibility exists that somebody lets you go because you might have saved somebody's life, or somebody feels a certain way about you potentially saving lives around here. The other odd is that they make it a point to kill you, or make it a point to make you pay for what you've done because you may have taken treatment out of the mouths of one of their family members. Hard to say. As such, turning you over to the authorities would be pointless. Embrace. Yeah, I could have myself a light-skinned snack. Now, see, here's the thing. It was stated at one point when it comes to our powers that we have to be very careful with what we do with every power, because it can have the potential to exert certain problems. So let's say we charm her, right? We make her stop the blackmail. She completely loses focus entirely. She loses the ability to take care of the people. She stops keeping the areas clean, stops washing her hands. She literally loses the ability to function because we told her to stop. And we told her to stop in such a way that it's like dealing with a genie. I wish for $1 million, right? I didn't ask for $1 million. I asked for $1 million. What's another word for buck? Deer, right? It's just like that old second Aladdin movie. You have to be careful with what you wish for because they will be very precise, and his powers work the same way. You can embrace her, which you'd eat her. You know how that goes. Get a lot of blood. We know everything about her now. Get a lot of XP. She is a pillar of this community. So we would gain quite a bit. The community wouldn't, but you know. Both problems I think would be the same, but I think her being charmed, she would kind of be better off than if she was embraced. The best choice you can make is the top left one.
No. Your place is here. Jailing you would be an even greater crime. So, here is my proposition. I'll look the other way on your little enterprise. In exchange, you will resign from the Pembroke Hospital and provide me with medical supplies when the need arises.
Dr. Reed, that sounds like a business proposition. My accomplice, then?
No, just a privileged client. My research may require the occasional rare piece of equipment or ingredient. I'll pay good coin in exchange, fair and honest, to help finance your noble endeavors.
We have ourselves a deal, Doctor. Good customers are always welcome.
Yes, Nurse Crane. We have a deal.
Interview with the vampire. Take care of Dorothy's fate. And mesmerize level went up. The district will soon suffer the consequences of your actions.
It's locked.
Can't entirely say what doing this will do other than give them all an opportunity to keep surviving, at least for a little while. But, yeah. Now, regardless of what choice you make, because this is a pivotal point in the game, she will, or your mesmerized level is going to go up. That's just the way the game is based. Won't be able to get this, though. Not unless I choose to consume her. And, well, I made that choice. I don't know if you can choose again later, but I made that choice. Down there killing patients, alright?
Oh, this one stinks already.
Yeah. Stay there. All the patients. All the patients. There wasn't many down here. Not that we're alive, anyway. But still. If by, you said the first playthrough you killed her, you mean killed her, or just like she ended up getting killed? Did you actually attack her? Because if you attacked her, then you chose the embrace option. Because the other option, you'll sit here and it's like, Nurse Crane, you are done here doing what you're doing. And she's like, I can't, you are done here. And quite literally, it sticks. I think she even stopped feeding herself. There was like a whole newspaper report where she stopped feeding herself. And that was the mistake I had made the first time around.
Step away, sir.
Yep.
Stop now!
Yeah, want me to leave, don't you? What's the problem here, gentlemen?
Crush the leech boys!
Alright. Oh, okay.
That's what you do, teach.
Oh. Your mother. What the? Okay, lock on is acting up. Okay.
I'll kill it!
He'll kill me.
You're mine!
Ouch.
Take its head! Fuck, he's dead!
So that was him talking. Dude is hilarious. Say, stand back, I gotta practice my stabbing arm. You said you think it was the embrace option, you just remember that you couldn't buy from her. Hard to say. Because, I mean, the embrace option and the charm option both get her killed. But the charm option, you'll come back and she'll actually be a scowl. A strong one. But I think it's because you ended up embracing her. We seem to be of a particular level of power in this game, despite the fact of being neophyte. Alright. Time to report back to Lady Ashbury.
Its effectiveness has been proven.
Interesting. There's a spot I'm trying to remember. But I don't remember if it's something that happens now or a little while from now. I want to say it's soon. If not already, should have taken place. But if it's the second one, then I'm just, or rather, if it's, yeah, it feels like the second one, then I'm just misremembering.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
So what you're saying is that they want to be followed. Oh, well. Shotgun couldn't quite reach, huh? You like that, you like that reach this time around. I'll take it. Whoa, okay. There it is again, children. My nemesis, stairs. What the? Okay. I teleported over to him for a reason. Alright, alright. No, you don't. Really don't. Really don't.
Burn it, boys!
Oh. Oh, okay. That explains you. I'm thinking one of y'all that was already down here was the one who had that second health bar. But I should have known because I don't see any health bar on him other than the one that's down here at the bottom of the screen. Haha. That's one. Okay. Even use my ability. Haha. No. Okay. Gotta remind myself they do that for you. That way you constantly have extra blood to pull from, especially if the bosses are too hard to do that with. Shouldn't be, but you know. Yeah, I've heard that before. No. Y'all give me too much time. Nah, that's how you get caught. They want to, they just can't. They're incapable. Stay there. You can do it, Nikki. Gotcha. I was hoping to catch the other one in that. Right as you got that shotgun blast off, love it. That's the first time he's got me with that. Oh, the double whammy. Well, they don't know how to feel about losing. Got a new one. Should have did that third dash.
Burn it, boys!
Luckily, my knife also seals a bit of blood too.
Crush the leech, boys!
And there he is. You know you're gonna die, right? I think he figured it out eventually. It's funny, I'd actually forgot about this encounter. What vampire is dumb enough to follow a blood trail like that? The only reason I followed it is because it was on my path. I was going this way anyway. Oh, thank you. It was actually a little tougher than you'd expect, but at the same time I am still level 9. Quite a bit of XP to level up with, but I am still level 9. Rakesh, what's going on there, guy?
Blaming me will not further your agenda. How long's it going to take to fix me properly? A month? A year? You have the right to disapprove of our methods, and you will kindly apologize when you're feeling better.
I mean, I don't know about that, but I understand what you're trying to say. Lady Ashbury. Problem solved. You can get back to your daily routine. You're eating people.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
Well, give me a second. I don't know about that. Compassion hiding her appetite. We don't have details. But in the end, for argument, she'll say, I'm a killer.
You killed him. He trusted you. And you killed him.
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
Sarcasm, huh? Really?
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
I must confess I have not put an end to the blackmail, my lady. Unfortunately, I could not bring myself to do it.
I'm so disappointed in you, Jonathan. I didn't expect this from you.
Lady Ashbury, you yourself admitted how ridiculous
You don't
the
know
sum of
me.
money was. I can assure you, it was all used for charitable ends.
Well, you are full of surprises, aren't you, Jonathan? All right, say I trust you, but you will still pay the ransom. That is only fair. After all, it was you who failed to bring this problem to a satisfactory conclusion.
I believe I could agree to that.
And since a lady always keeps her promises, I will now answer any questions you may have.
You mean failed to solve? Boy, gotta love how I said I'd help, and therefore it makes me responsible for if it fails. But if you chose to get involved, there would be blood in the streets, from your own words. But I'm now responsible for the debt you owe. Fantastic. Love that.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
Oh, only those who wouldn't have witnesses for long. Okay.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
Interesting. So they allow you to exist so long as you ain't creating a problem. Well, here's hoping so long as you're on these grounds, you do at least protect the people who aren't, close to dying. Since this does seem to be your buffet line.
And no one suspected you of the murders.
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
So far, that's the one thing I actually do believe in terms of what you said so far. You literally asked me to go deal with a blackmailer who had you literally hand in the cookie jar. They were not wrong in the slightest.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Oh, I get it. You're a vampire. You returned at 27. It just reminds me of when I would hear women say, "Oh, I'm not 32. I'm 2012." And as for your gentleman comment, well, dear, a gentleman pays attention to details to make sure he's not having particular problems. And a lady should not take issue with a man trying to mitigate risks, should she? Especially since if standard relationship thought processes apply, if I need to protect you, it stands to reason I need to know about the risks I'm protecting you from. But I mean, hey.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
Fine. Just as a man does. We won't talk about that one.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
It's probably an interesting story about that one. Yeah, so why did you save me?
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly stand by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
Promising? Based on what? Sure, I defeated him, and that was my first, like, real quote-unquote boss battle / threat as a new econ, as y'all like to say we're called. But beyond that, what do you speak of? Like, what did you see? Did you smell something in my blood or something?
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then.
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, Scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
Careless vampires? What would make them careless to create Scowls?
What type of vampire is a Scowl?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
Says the woman who was just face deep in somebody's neck.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
Interesting.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Yeah, I can understand that. So, no, wait a minute now. There's smoke in these here alleys and it ain't one of us? Who's missing?
Excuse my forwardness, but are you my maker?
Me? Goodness no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it forward, but you assume someone is foolish. Is it possible they took precautions and something happened that they didn't foresee? Or they did foresee it, but were still unable to stop it?
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That's what I'm
That is a
saying.
question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
Once again, you attribute a lot just because I ended up in a body pile. I mean, Jesus. For all you know, I was turned and my master was potentially captured. Right then and there. You have no idea. There's a lot of assumptions.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
It makes sense. It also explains why I do all that biting all across the game and ain't running into more vampires.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
If it don't sound sexy and with great depth of power and ancient history, it doesn't matter, huh? If the term fits, the term fits, honestly.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So what are actual vampires then? What do you mean the closest thing?
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not Ekon. We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
It makes sense. It's not hard to understand. Put another way, if we go back in history, World War II, all Nazis were German, but not all Germans were Nazis. A lot of people to this day still have issue with that thought process.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
Even having seen it, you never seen it like this. Well, that phrase is actually like poor. Obviously, not all German, or not all Nazis were German, but the argument still kind of fits.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
Things you haven't heard for a long time, huh? That begs questions.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I meant.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, You may discover an immortal in the deep of the night, but we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Almost. Once again. But because of that almost, you attribute pretty much every case to being negligence.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience it is best to decline to play.
It is sometimes. Sometimes, though, you have no choice. Like it or not. Sometimes you have to take stances that should honestly never be taken. Like to think that you can avoid those as long as possible, but we're not always lucky like that.
When I awoke, changed, I was chased and attacked by vampire hunters. Prepared and well-trained.
Though I can't be certain, more than likely it was the once glorious Guard of Priwen.
Once glorious? Oh yeah, why you say that?
Once glorious, but still dangerous.
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to stay clear. They are sworn to destroy our kind.
I'll agree that all fanatics are dangerous, but what do you mean, once glorious? What, at one point were they not hunting vampires or something? Or was it like a, you are the vampire, but you seem to not be eating people, so we'll let you be, but your children, they all seem to have people problems.
You make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society, and like all the best ones, a secret society. I thought them almost gone, but it seemed they have been recruiting.
That's the problem with secret societies. You say that like all the best ones are secret, but a lot of people like to think that they're the best ones because of them being secret, because they're untouched by the rabble of the everyday individual, failing to realize they are the everyday individual. Unless you stop bleeding red blood, and breathing oxygen, needing water before the next 3 days, or oxygen for the next 3 minutes, water before the next 3 days, and food before the next 3 weeks. I mean, what, did you shapeshift when you ended up in the upper crust or something? What happened? And so many individuals in positions of power like that, status, or even just little clubs, who that are those secret societies, they somehow think that they are literally exempt from reality. And then reality smacks them in the face, and then they wonder, what happened and how can we stop this? You can't. You set up a whole bunch of crap to make sure you couldn't.
I bid you farewell, for now, my lady. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
It's like how a lot of people are like there's some concepts in terms of AI from science fiction stories, and even some theories that a lot of people have set up where we'll have AI solve a problem. But we won't realize in the end the problem we want them to solve we're mainly a part of. We may actually be making the problem outright worse in and of itself. Well, we don't realize we're part of the problem, or we somehow think we're exempt from the realities of the problem. And in the end, well, a machine might not necessarily look at it that way. They'll just look at all the information as clearly as they can and give the best assessment that they have. We may well be our own problem. In that regard, at least. Increase stamina regen rate by 50% for 15 seconds. And then you look over and all you see is them weird skull and crossbones or whatever the hell groups that they like to call themselves. Oh, well, we're the next generation of people who think we're untouchable. Say, well, here's hoping you learn those lessons.
Vasily was infected by Spanish flu, but also has the highly unstable blood of the Skulls. Is the London vampire epidemic transmitted through the flu? I should talk to Dr. Swansea about it.
So we have established that the actual flu is here. It's not just because in one of these episodes we established that it might not necessarily be the flu so much as this virus running around masking itself as the flu. But no, from what he says, we have found flu as well as the virus itself. So we'll have to see what's up in terms of that. But let me see now. What am I going for? Gotta get some of these passes out of the way first. Extra 20% healing from the biting. Yes, Lord. That's fine. Alright, I'm about 600 short. Healing does go up. That could be of use. 3 seconds instead of 2. Spring. Cool down is faster. Half the amount of time. Claws. That's 2 G's. Ugh. At some point I need to upgrade my medical bag. And I guess my cartridge bag if I'm going to be using guns, but we'll see about the guns. Go ahead and upgrade the healing. Autophagy or autophagy, whichever one. Alright, let's see what's happened to Whitechapel. Major district events. Every night the consequences of your actions may improve or degrade the district health status. It can also be degraded due to diseases spreading among citizens. The more lives you take, the unhealthier a district becomes. If a district's health status drops below the critical threshold, it will plunge into chaos. It is for you to decide of a district's fate. Alright. Feudal police raids in Whitechapel. As of late, the rumors that surround Whitechapel are ripening into facts. In the last 3 months, the police have suspected the district of hosting what might be the heart of London's medicinal black market. But of course, these suspicions will remain assumptions, for no task force or additional police presence has been sent to Whitechapel. No large drug stocks have been found, nor no crime lords arrested. This masquerade has only been planned as a desperate attempt to conceal the blatant incompetence of the London City Council's Board of Health. giving the populace a cheap and easy victory, while the epidemic spreads more and more each day. Worst of all, when you take time to review the most recent statistics, you discover that the district of Whitechapel is coping with the disease much better than other parts of the city. It is a miracle. Evidence of the activity of an illegal but efficient medical op underground. More proof of the authorities' criminal incompetence? All I know is this. If a Londoner has better chance to survive the epidemic by choosing to live in this godforsaken borough, I'm ready to move to any cheap infested flat for some shady landlord will agree to rent me right now. SLA. I can respect that. With the resources we bring her, she can actually make an actual dent in this. And it's actually working because of Whitechapel being such a small group now. Regardless of how large it was, it's such a small group of survivors now. It's much easier to maintain. The prices and stocks of the merchants in this district may have changed. Good. Good. That district, I didn't even catch what it did on this left side. We haven't been there, but apparently things still matter. Ha ha, fantastic. Alright. Now you are Thatcher. Right, I don't have what I need for headaches right now. Fatigue, I can take care of your problem if I'm over by this district. The docks. What was it? Migraine and cold. Cadigan Bates should be accessible. I just gotta find him. And don't know what's going on over on the West End. I love that music choice they made. It's real horror movie old school. Or old school horror movie rather. But it's gonna be the end of episode 7 of Vampyr on the PS5, folks. If y'all like what you see and want to see more of me, just give me a like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube or both. Drop a comment, check out some of the other playlists, share around some of the other playlists, bang the bell. Follow the links from my Twitch to get to my YouTube. Follow the links from my YouTube to get to my Twitch. And wherever you folks happen to be, have yourselves a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And God bless you. Catch you in the next one. Alright, no problem. Thanks for stopping through, and again, thanks for the follow. God bless you too.